What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of our free-to-play adventures 1 year later in Genshin Impact. This time we're trying a different style with a post-commentary because I kinda am doing like huge recording sessions of me just getting through on gameplay, and I thought it'd be a lot more entertaining if I gave my thought process after the recording. To start today, since the 2.2 update released, we immediately decided to go do the event trials because it's free rewards, lets you test out the characters. It's always worth it, in my opinion. Do those as soon as you can. Now, if you remember in the first episode, I mentioned that the event trials are hard to really tell if a character is worth free pulling, and this trial is a perfect example of that. As you see in his character event trial, he comes with his signature weapon, which is very hard to pull for and never worth it for free-to-play players, and he has very favorable artifacts. Not perfect ones, but as you can see, the 56 crit rate with the 154 crit damage, as well as the fact that they are carrying a hydro damage bonus. So always keep that in mind when you were deciding whether to roll for a character or not. Another thing I wanted to talk about while we were doing these event trials is about whether or not I think this banner is worth rolling for as a free-to-play player. Now, before I talk about whether or not you should roll on a banner, let me say what takes precedent over how good a character is whether or not you like the character and you want to pull for them. If you like the character, regardless of how much you think they're good or not, that's your answer. You should pull for them. I'm literally an Albedo and a Jinyen main, so that should tell you that meta doesn't matter. However, if you want my 2 cents from a perspective of like using the character, I'm personally not going to use any of my rolls on Child's Banner, even if I save up Primos enough for a 10 roll. Reason being because I am just not a hugest fan of the 4 stars on Child's Banner. I don't really like Ningguang or Yanfei's playstyle that much, and Changyu would be helpful, but it's just not worth it to me as a free-to-play player, especially when I don't really need the 5-star. I have Child on my main account. I want to roll for 5 stars that either like I really like, or I'm not going to roll for on my main account to give me a chance to try them out. Now that we've taken care of the event trials and kind of the way I wanted to start the day, now let's go into the meat of the things I want to accomplish. I started off by doing a little bit of foraging around the land because I wanted to light up the whole map and get all the teleporters that I possibly could. This is because it makes searching around a lot easier, and starting off early, it also gives you a decent amount of adventure rank experience to check out. In the meantime, I also was smacking a lot of trees for some wood. This is because later we will unlock something where we will use a lot of wood to craft things. And I wanted to start by grinding for it early while I could, when I was feeling motivated to chunk it out here and there and get some wood. After I made my way over to the first statue of the 7, you can notice that we need to defeat this Eye of the Storm before we can get rid of the air current and unlock it. This made me realize I might want to use some of the experience books I gathered, because this was kind of a long and grueling process. But partly because I was using all my Anemo characters. As you can see, we got the statue of the 7 unlocked, and a lot of the portion of the map has been lit up so we can see which teleporters are available. I decided to start from the top of the map and get the teleporters that were there by checking them out for navigation on my screen. That way I could see where they were. I am still gathering the chests that I see while I see them. This is so I can slowly start getting some more adventure rank and get those Anemo sigils up, because I do not need to use the interactive map because I'm very familiar with this area. I do highly recommend, and I will stress this a lot, that you wait and look for the interactive map, because unless you are very comfortable with the land, it's going to be very tough for you to get all of those chests. After I got like 2 or 3 teleporters, I got kind of distracted and ended up using my resin on these experience ley lines for 2 different reasons. One of them being I wanted to quickly get all of my characters that I was using at the time to level 20, because I was realizing, as you can see there, the enemies are kind of high level for my like level 8 characters. So I wanted to at least get some experience books, get them to level 20, make my life a little bit easier. But also, the amount of adventure experience that you get from clearing a ley line is very helpful to getting us to our adventure rank level benchmarks that we need to get to. So while last episode I did say, oh, it's probably not worth using them, I actually realized how wrong that was here, and I take that back completely. The adventure ranks experience that you get from doing this is very worth it at an early rate. You should always be doing them daily at least. After I used my 160 resin on the experience ley lines, I decided to level up my weapons at least to around level 10 or 11 before I continued. That way I could do a little bit of extra damage, and it wouldn't take me as long to clear this stuff. For the most part, I would recommend saving at least your blue enhancement crystals, because those are the most important ones. The silver and green ones are good value to use early in the game. That's what I went ahead and did to quickly level up some of these 3-star weapons. After unlocking all the teleport spots and using my resin on the ley lines, I was just a little short of reaching adventure rank level 10. In order to make that final push, I decided to complete the Kaya and Amber story quests that we gained access to. Whether you need the adventure rank experience or not, or you're already at level 10, I still recommend doing them because they're very enjoyable quests to do. You get a little bit of extra free rewards, and they're quite simple and don't take that long to complete. Now that we had completed those quests, we were able to continue the main story quest that we had been locked out of before. However, there was one extra thing before we get to that. When you reach adventure rank 10, you get access to the mail that gave us 10 free Acquaint Fates for reaching a pre-registration award back on release. These can be used on the standard or beginner banners. I was really excited when I saw these because honestly, I forgot these roles even existed. Since we had already done our 2 10 pulls on the beginner banner, we had to use them on the standard banner, which instead of guaranteeing us any 4-star character, it only guaranteed us a 4-star character or weapon. I was perfectly fine getting either a character or any 4-star weapon that wasn't a claymore, because I'm not a huge fan of most 4-star claymores. However, it seems like I spoke way too soon, because we ended up getting the Sacrificial Greatsword. I was pretty disappointed when I saw that. If we ever get Chong Yun down the line, it's a decent weapon to give to him, especially since we're not going to have access to a lot of good weapons. But for now, we just put it on Noelle, as the early 4-star stats are pretty useful. But I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty upsetting, but we'll get some good rolls soon eventually. I hope. Now that all of that had been taken care of, I decided to spend the rest of my session playing through as much of the story as I could until I basically got tired and was ready to go to bed. You should really try to get through this Mondstadt story quest as fast as possible, because completing it is really what unlocks the gates to a lot of possibilities and free resources compared to basically most of the quests out there. I actually really enjoyed the Mondstadt story quest, but since I had already done it, and it was getting kind of late, I decided to just blaze through the dialogue as fast as I can, skip whatever I could, and because of that, I made it all the way until we were able to purify Dvalin, and I was like, I'm not ready to do that right now, so I called it a night there. However, since we had gotten a good amount of experience from doing the story quests, I had gotten the right level to unlock daily commissions and expeditions. Daily commissions are basically this game's forms of daily missions along with using resin. They're actually a very consistent source of getting adventure rank experience, because you get at minimum 1200 adventure rank experience each day doing these. But as you raise your adventure rank, you can get up to 1500 adventure rank experience. This is a very steady way to get your rank up, while also getting 60 Primo Gems every day you complete daily commissions. Expeditions, on the other hand, are a decent way of steadily gaining mainly minerals. Basically, you send out characters, and after a certain amount of time, they'll come back with the rewards. The best one I like to do are the ones that give out the crystals, because it's a very easy way to slowly build a stock of enhancement ore. All in all, though, daily commissions and expeditions, very valuable. Make them a part of your routine along with spending resin. that's going to be the end of this session for our F2P Genshin Impact series. I aim to get us finished with the Mondstadt main story by the end of the weekend. Hopefully I'll also have another video out around 2 or 3 days after this one. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and comment down below with any feedback you have for how I do these. Let me know how you enjoyed the post-commentary style, and feel free to follow me on my socials down below. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope I see you again next video.